And welcome back to Mirabai Sabhagar. Here we will have a panel discussion on importance of mother tongue. Shri Mohan Gehani ji, distinguished Sindhi poet, critic and translator, will chair this session. At the outset, I request Shri Mohan Gehani ji to please come onto the stage. Writers and poets will take part in this session as speakers are Ajit Dubey ji. I request Ajit Dubey to please come onto stage. Shri Soren ji. Shri Melvin Rodriguez ji. Silvanus Lamare. And Umananduri ji will join us hopefully very soon. Mohan Gehani ji, who chairs this session, is a noted Sindhi scholar, playwright, poet, translator. He was among those initial writers' group who struggled to build up Sindhiyat movement and work for inclusion of Sindhi language in the Constitution of India. He is the author of numerous books and is a recipient of several awards, including the Sahitya Akademi Award in 2011 and the Said Memorial Award, London. He has also received awards for his book on history of Sindh, Sahitya Akademi Translation Prize and Madhya Pradesh Gaurav Award. He was a member of the Sindhi Advisory Board of Sahitya Akademi. Ajit Dubey ji writes in Bhojpuri and has regularly contributed to various national newspapers and penned the book Talash Bhojpuri Bhashai Asmita Ki. Shri Dubey ji has received a number of prestigious awards such as the Rajiv Gandhi Prerna Puraskar in 2007 from the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Karmayogi Samman in 2009, Chandrasekhar Samman in 2011 by the National Thinkers Forum and International Bhojpuri Samman in 2014 during the International Bhojpuri in Mauritius. Presently, he is the National President of Vishwa Bhojpuri Samman. Shri Madan Mohan Soren ji is a poet, writer, playwright and lyricist in Santali language, and as well as a Santali language activist. He is a member of All India Santali Writers Association, Adivasi Socio-Educational and Cultural Association, Odisha. He was convener of Sahitya Akademi's Santali Language Advisory Board. Presently, he is working towards establishment of a National Tribal University and National Council for Promotion of Santali Language and National Council for Promotion of Indigenous Languages in India. Melvin Rodriguez writes in Konkani and is currently working as the Director Operations, the IG World Media Private Limited. He is the founder of Kavita Trust, which has organized more than 200 programs on poetry and published 33 books till date. His published works include 1 novella, 6 collections of poems, 3 translations, 2 collections of essays, 6 edited works. He is a recipient of Sandesha Award, Sahitya Akademi Award for Prakriti So Fast, Best Kokani Book Award for the book Prakriti So Fast, Karnataka Kokani Sahitya Akademi Honorary Award for Literature. Currently, Melvin ji is convener of Sahitya Akademi's Kokani Advisory Board. Silvanus Lamare ji is a modern Khasi scholar, linguist and translator. His first poems were published in You Critic, a local literary magazine, and since then he has more than 20 published books to his credit in Khasi and English. Due to his efforts, UNESCO declared that Khasi is out of the list of endangered language. He has been honored by the Zhejiang Chinese Writers Association in 2005 for his short stories and poems based on China. Currently, he is principal, St. Edmund's College, Shillong. Hopefully, as I told earlier, Omanandurji will join us soon. I request the chair to please open the session now.
Distinguished personage on the stage, as equally distinguished audience. Isn't it a very strange thing that I am speaking about importance of mother tongue in a tongue which is not mother tongue of any of us? That itself underscores the importance of the subject. Now, in this process of globalization, urbanization, consumer society as we call it, we are getting a class which is detached from its soil. Some of the new generation has not seen their villages. It's a different thing, we don't have villages. I'll come to that later. I was appalled to find that there is not a single private Marathi medium school in Bombay. And there is not a single Hindi teaching medium school in Bhopal. I do not know what is the state of affairs in other state capitals. And unless we don't understand the change that we are going through, the basic things, we will not be able to understand the importance of the mother tongue. Before I speak of the mother tongue, it would not be out of place to consider the basic relationship between mother and the child with mother tongue. Child depends on his mother for the very basic physical survival for nourishment. Though the umbilical cord is severed at the birth, but the emotional cord of the child with the mother continues throughout life. In order to provide emotional nurturing to the child, mother expresses her deep emotions through words also and utters, mimicking the sounds and at the exploration of the objects, the child identifies those objects and relationships. Thus, the first building blocks of the world for the child are built. The language is like a sanskara. I can't find equivalent word in English language that conditions behavior throughout and eventually shapes the worldview and value structure of the individual also. Without any time, the language of communicating with mother is built for the first meaningful and intimate relationship in individual's life. Strangely, when the child is crying, the mother knows whether he is hungry, whether the child is thirsty, or he has a stomach ache or an earache. That the cry of the child itself becomes intelligible to the mother. And this way, the relationship between mother and the child and emergence of the mother is understood. It will be important to bear in mind that the language is the oldest tradition of man, and the linguistic areas are covered by nature that remain constant. Language is like a river that is enriched by many tributaries in its historical moment. At the same time, it turns into various flows. It will be fallacy to treat language as a biological process and say that a particular language is born out of a particular stock. The inhabitants of the area share the same historical experience, and in a way, the language is a capsule of historical experience of that area. The literature and culture of the area reflects the ethos and the value structure of the region. It becomes an important force to build people together. A language does not change with the political boundaries and is not limited to any religion. Max Muller and William Jones had not to convert to Hinduism to learn Sanskrit language, and Northern Indians had to be Christians to know English language. Language has no religion. Particularly in the case of Sindhi language, I'm coming to my anguish. In India, the situation is quite exceptional. In the aftermath of the partition, Hindu population of the Sindh migrated to India and was strewn all across India like leaves of a tree after a severe storm. In fact, it was not the full society as it existed in the Sindh. It was, in fact, a ribbon of a society consisting mainly of middle class professionals, shopkeepers, and sprinkling of landlords. A vast population that happened to be Muslims, consisting of landlords, peasants, and artisans remained back. So in India, we do not have any potter, any blacksmith among Sindhis. Thus, this resulted not only in loss of vocabulary related to agriculture, flora and fauna of the land, but also of a pastoral life and the words used in many trades like those of blacksmiths, carpenters, potters, masons, and many other artisans. Thus, the partition of the country in a way resulted in constriction of our vocabulary for the generation that has grown up in India. It's not only the land that we are lost our vocabulary also. At the same time, our creative literature is devoid of any rural background. I can't write anything about the village life and the farmers. It must be in summer, and the elders would show the pole star and other constellations like a Saptarishi to children. It is only a generation ago that the neighbors, children of neighborhood will play outdoor games like gilli danda, hide and seek, and many other games. Now they are addicted only to phone games, mobile games. In urban life, we have not only lost the land, but also lost the part of our sky. It is not mere a loss of a language, but the entire mode of living. Now in cities, we have a culture of a closed gymnasiums and vast stadiums for allied in place of a neighborhood open spaces for the children to play. In fact, the clock of history cannot be turned back. Yet we have to make efforts to preserve what is most precious to us. Do we want to preserve the childhood of our future generations? It may be argued that indifferent will survive. In this context, I would like to bring out the fact that a person is born with 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 kidneys. If due to any accident, one of those is lost, the person continues to live with one organ, state of being. The mother tongue is natural state of being, and now the most pressing question that is stretched to us is that whether we want our deprived future generation to be deprived of our mother tongue and want to condemn our coming generation to such an unnatural state. The silver lining is that in the space age, the planet Earth that is going to remain the reference point, and to find their bearings for the earthling in the vast space, and while even in the space, person would continue to be bound to a particular linguistic region, like invisible umbilical cord of his mother, and thus remain connected to it. but that is the only flicker of hope. All the persons on the dais to please share their views. Thank you very much.
As the chair said, I request Sri Ajit Dubey to please come and share his views.
आदरणीय मंच और मित्रों, नमस्कार। कार्यक्रम के शुरू में मैं आयोजकों को दिल से धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं। इतना सुंदर और भव्य आयोजन साहित्य अकादमी के द्वारा किया गया है। राष्ट्रपिता महात्मा गांधी ने कहा था, हम मां, मातृभाषा और मातृभूमि को भूल नहीं सकते। विश्व की असंख्य भाषाओं में मातृभाषा सबसे प्रिय होती है। असंख्य भाषाएं, भारत में सैकड़ों भाषाएं बोली जाती हैं। ये भाषाई विविधता है, ये हमारी सनातन की ताकत है। सदियों पुरानी इस भाषाई विविधता के बावजूद हमारा परस्पर संपर्क और संवाद मजबूत और सहावतपूर्ण रहा है, और भाषाओं के बीच में भी आपस का संवाद बना रहता है। इस पूरे सत्र के दो मुख्य केंद्र बिंदु हैं, मातृभाषा और उनका महत्व। मातृभाषा पहली भाषा जो एक बच्चा अपनी माँ की गोद में सीखता है, ये उसकी मातृभाषा होती है। मेरी मातृभाषा भोजपुरी है। मातृभाषा के महत्व को लेकर संस्कृत के कई श्लोक हैं। एक महत्वपूर्ण श्लोक का भावार्थ है, जो लोग अपनी मातृभाषा का त्याग कर दूसरी भाषा अपनाते हैं, वह ज्ञान रूपी सूर्य का उदय नहीं होता है। इसे सूत्र में अब कई संवाद सत्र विषय को समेटा जा सकता है। मातृभाषा का महत्व इसलिए है ताकि ज्ञान के सूरज का उदय हो। भारतीय ने कहा था, निज भाषा उन्नति है सब उन्नति को मूल। अपनी भाषा का विकास जीवन में सभी उन्नतियों के द्वार खोलता है, सभी का आधार है। देश की उत्तरोत्तर उन्नति के लिए मातृभाषा का अहम योगदान होता है। दुनिया के जो विकसित देश हैं, उनके पीछे उनकी मातृभाषा का बहुत बड़ा योगदान रहा है। फ्रांस, जर्मनी, जापान, चीन, साउथ कोरिया इसके कुछ उदाहरण हैं। भारतीय संविधान में 22 भाषाओं को भाषा का दर्जा दिया गया है, और कालांतर में 6 भाषाओं को क्लासिकल लैंग्वेज का दर्जा दिया गया है। क्लासिकल लैंग्वेज शास्त्रीय भाषा तमिल, तेलुगु, कन्नड़, मलयालम, संस्कृत और उड़िया। 64-66 में कोठारी आयोग ने त्रिभाषा फॉर्मूले की शुरुआत की। किसी भी राष्ट्र की तरक्की के लिए और उसके विकास के लिए सबसे बड़ा विषय है संकल्प, और संकल्प मातृभाषा में लिए जाते हैं, विदेशी भाषा में नहीं। भारत न केवल भौगोलिक और सांस्कृतिक रूप से विविधता को समेटे हुए है, बल्कि भाषाई रूप से विभिन्न भाषाओं को बोलने वाले हम सब एक सूत्र में बंधे हुए हैं। भारत में लगभग 1652 भाषाएं थी, और यूनेस्को द्वारा संकटग्रस्त भाषाओं पर 2010 में जारी की गई इंटरैक्टिव एटलस रिपोर्ट बताती है कि भाषाओं को भूलने में हम सबसे आगे हैं, फॉलोड बाय अमेरिका। हाल में विश्व पुस्तक मेला 2024 संपन्न हुआ। मेले की थीम बहुभाषी भारत, एक जीवित परंपरा। भारत की सांस्कृतिक समृद्धि और भाषाई विविधता को दिखाया गया। भाषाई विविधता भारत की एक ताकत है। भारतीय लोक भाषा सर्वेक्षण हमें बताता है कि पूरे देश में तकरीबन 780 भाषाएं हैं। ये भाषाएं 86 लिपियों का उपयोग करती हैं। भाषाई विविधता हमारी सभ्यता का आधार रहा है। हमारी मातृभाषा सिर्फ संवाद का ही माध्यम नहीं है, बल्कि हमें अपनी विरासत से जोड़ती है। हमारी विविधता भरी संस्कृति की खूबसूरती को सिर्फ मातृभाषाओं को प्रोत्साहित करके ही बचाया जा सकता है। मातृभाषा जीवन की आत्मा है। अपनी भाषाओं को संरक्षित करके ही संस्कृति और परंपरा की रक्षा की जा सकती है। भाषा संस्कृति को मजबूत करती है और संस्कृति समाज को मजबूत करती है। राजनीतिक सीमाएं बदल सकती हैं, लेकिन हमारी मातृभाषा और हमारी जड़ें नहीं बदलेगी। इतिहास गवाह है कि जर्मनी का एकीकरण के पीछे उनकी भाषाई अस्मिता, मातृभाषा राष्ट्रपिता महात्मा गांधी ने कहा कि राष्ट्र के जो बालक अपनी मातृभाषा में नहीं बल्कि किसी अन्य भाषा में शिक्षा पाते हैं वो आत्महत्या करते हैं। उनका जन्म सिद्ध अधिकार छीन लिया जाता है। बच्चों के लिए काम करने वाली संस्था यूनेस्को का मानना है कि बच्चों की प्रारंभिक शिक्षा उनकी मातृभाषा में होनी चाहिए, तभी प्रारंभिक और आधारभूत शिक्षा कारगर होगी। मातृभाषा के महत्व पर अपनी बात कहते हुए माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 27 फरवरी 2022 को मन की बात कार्यक्रम में कहा, जैसे हमारे जीवन को हमारी माँ गढ़ती है, वैसे ही मातृभाषा भी हमारे जीवन को गढ़ती है। आज़ादी के 76 साल के बाद भी कुछ लोग ऐसी मानसिक द्वंद्व में जी रहे हैं जिसके कारण उन्हें अपनी भाषा, अपने पहनावे, अपने खान पान को लेकर एक संकोच होता है, जबकि विश्व में कहीं भी ऐसा नहीं है। हमारी मातृभाषा है, हमें उसे गर्व के साथ बोलना चाहिए और हमारा भारत तो भाषाओं के मामले में इतना समृद्ध है कि उसको तुलना ही नहीं की जा सकती। हमारी भाषाओं की सबसे बड़ी खूबसूरती है कश्मीर से कन्याकुमारी तक और कच्छ से कोहिमा तक सैकड़ों भाषाएं, हजारों बोलियां एक दूसरे से अलग लेकिन एक दूसरे में रची बसी। यहाँ ये याद रखना जरूरी है कि किसी भी भाषा को संरक्षित करने का सबसे अच्छा और शायद सबसे कठिन तरीका है उसमें बोलने वाले लोगों के लिए आजीविका का निर्माण किया जाए। राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति 35 साल के बाद आई, लेकिन भारत की आज़ादी के 75 साल के बाद भी आज तक भारत में भाषा नीति नहीं बन पाई। बहुत सारी विसंगतियों की जड़ भाषा नीति का न बनना भी है। केंद्र सरकार भारतीय भाषाओं को प्रोत्साहित करने के लिए कई योजनाओं के जरिए जन मुहिम चला रही है। इंजीनियरिंग और मेडिकल के एग्जामिनेशंस के लिए मातृभाषाओं में इस एंट्रेंस एग्जाम की व्यवस्था और पढ़ाई की व्यवस्था की गई है। ये एक प्रशंसनीय कदम है। पर विडंबना देखिए, मेरी भाषा जो भोजपुरी है, जिसको लगभग 20 करोड़ लोग बोलते हैं, तो हिंदी के बाद भारत में सबसे बड़ी भाषा है। और सेंसस जो भारत सरकार का 2011 में आया, 2018 में, उस सेंसस ने उस भाषा को 6ठे नंबर की भाषा बताया देश में। वो मान्यता प्राप्त भाषा नहीं है। उसको मान्यता न मिलने से बहुत सारी उन सुविधाओं से भाषा वंचित है। मानने छोटी भाषाएं जिनको बोलने वालों की संख्या 20 लाख 30 लाख है, लेकिन ग्लोबल वर्ल्ड में डिमांड और सप्लाई बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। भोजपुरी की विडंबना है कि ये बाजार की भाषा बन गई। 2023 में पहली बार IPL की कमेंट्री भोजपुरी में हुई, वर्ल्ड कप की कमेंट्री भोजपुरी में हुई। 2023 में भोजपुरी माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ट्रांसलेशन की भाषा बन गई। ये बहुत बड़ा काम रहा। इस सुविधा से 20 अन्य भाषाएं भी ये बनी हैं और 100 भाषाओं से जुड़ गया है। एक बात और कहना चाहता हूँ कि आज तक में आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस में जो पहला भाषाई मॉडल दिया वो भोजपुरी में ही था। UPI सेवाओं में भोजपुरी एक ऐसी भाषा है जिसने दुनिया भर में भारत के UPI भुगतान को एक नई क्रांति की है। ओवर द टॉप और भोजपुरी सिनेमा और संगीत बड़ा बाजार है। हाल ही में 9 मार्च 2024 को शिक्षा मंत्रालय ने 22 भारतीय भाषाओं को 52 प्राइमर लॉन्च किया। उन्हें उनकी मातृभाषा स्थानीय भाषा में शिक्षा पहुंचा सकता है, लेकिन पुनः मेरी बड़ी मातृभाषा भोजपुरी उससे वंचित है। हाल ही की सभी घटनाएं भोजपुरी की क्षमता के बारे में बता रही हैं। साहित्य के अलावा भोजपुरी व्यवसाय की भाषा के रूप में मजबूत हो रही है। मैं प्रबंधन का व्यक्ति हूँ, बाजार व्यवसाय या बाजार को समझता हूँ। मातृभाषा का सवाल सिर्फ साहित्य का मामला नहीं है, यह भाषा के अर्थशास्त्र से भी जुड़ा है। 2011 की जनगणना के अनुसार भोजपुरी, राजस्थानी और छत्तीसगढ़ी हिंदी की सबसे बड़ी सहभाषाएं हैं। जनसंख्या के आधार पर इन्हें बोलने वालों की संख्या क्रमशः 5.6 करोड़, 2.59 करोड़ और 1.6 करोड़ है। इन भाषाओं को संवैधानिक मान्यता का प्रस्ताव राज्य विधानसभा से अनुमोदन के बाद लंबे से केंद्र सरकार के अधीन पड़ा है। यदि भोजपुरी, राजस्थानी और छत्तीसगढ़ी जैसी भाषाओं को मान्यता मिलती है तो अर्थव्यवस्था में रोजगार के अवसर पैदा होंगे। मातृभाषा अस्तित्व से जुड़ा होता है, इसका संरक्षण बहुत जरूरी है, अन्यथा कोई भी समुदाय और संस्कृति नष्ट हो सकती है। मातृभाषा के अस्तित्व पर खतरा हमारे देश के लिए इसलिए उत्पन्न हुआ कि 200 साल अंग्रेज हम पर राज करके चले गए और उनका पहला प्रयास था हमारी संस्कृति को तोड़ना, हमारी मातृभाषाओं को तहस नहस करना। लेकिन कुछ अच्छी खबर भी है। अभी 2 मार्च 24 को दैनिक भास्कर में खबर छपी कि पिछले 2 साल के दौरान अमेरिका में अंतर्राष्ट्रीय भाषा के तौर पर हिंदी विषय पढ़ाने वाले स्कूलों की संख्या 10 गुना बढ़ रही है। अब 90 स्कूलों में यूएस में हिंदी के कोर्स चल रहे हैं। हिंदी के छात्रों की संख्या भी बढ़कर 14,000 हो गई है। मशहूर सिलिकॉन वैली के सरकारी स्कूलों में अगस्त से हिंदी वैश्विक भाषा कोर्स शुरू होगा। पहली बार हिंदी को वैश्विक भाषा का दर्जा दिया गया। आज़ादी के 7 दशक बाद भी हम अपनी भाषा को लेकर कोई ठोस नीति नहीं बना पाए। वजह हमारी सरकारों का भाषाओं को लेकर अपनाया गया उदासीन रवैया। इसमें भाषाओं को लेकर स्पष्ट नीतियाँ, कुछ भाषाओं को अनुसूचीबद्ध किया गया, वहाँ कुछ भाषाओं को ऐसे ही छोड़ दिया गया। अगर एक राष्ट्रीय भाषाई नीति बनती है, देश की कई विलुप्त होती भाषाएं को सहेजा जा सकता है। केंद्र में सत्तारूढ़ भाजपा सरकार हमेशा से भारतीय भाषाओं के पैरोकार रही। सबका साथ, सबका विश्वास और सबका विकास इस सरकार का मूल मंत्र है। उम्मीद है केंद्र सरकार देश की विकास में के राह में पीछे छूट गई मातृभाषाओं का भी विकास करेगी और जल्द एक उचित भाषा नीति बनाएगी। अंत में कहना चाहता हूँ कि 35 साल बाद देश की शिक्षा नीति लागू हुई। आज़ादी के 70 साल के बाद भी कोई भाषा नीति नहीं बनी। आज भाषा नीति देश की आवश्यकता है। मेरी कामना है, मेरा विश्वास है कि भोजपुरी सहित देश की सभी मातृभाषाओं को उनका वाजिब हक मिलेगा। मुझे गर्व है कि मैं हिंदी भाषी हूँ। मेरा सौभाग्य है कि भोजपुरी मेरी मातृभाषा है। मेरी कामना है कि हिंदी यूनाइटेड नेशंस की भाषा बने, हिंदी राजभाषा से राष्ट्रभाषा बने, लेकिन देश की सभी मातृभाषाओं को उनका हक मिलना चाहिए। मुझे आमंत्रित करने के लिए, अपनी बात कहने के लिए, ध्यान से सुनने के लिए आप सभी का
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आदरणीय दुबे जी। बहुत महत्वपूर्ण और सुंदर बात कही आपने मातृभाषाओं को लेकर और उनके संरक्षण के संदर्भ में भी। अब मैं निमंत्रित करता हूँ श्री मदन मोहन सोरेन जी को अपनी बात कहने के लिए।
Respected chair of this session, Sri Mohan Bihani ji, distinguished Sindhi scholar, co-speaker, discussants, respected audience, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, and those who are present here, and those who are listening to me. At the very outset, I would like to extend my civil johar to you, my namaste, my good afternoon to you all. So before talking about the significance of mother language, mother tongues, first of all, I would like to raise a question like, what is mother tongue? What is the significance of mother tongue? What do we understand by mother tongue? There are so many questions. some said the mother tongue is the tongue or language which is used at the very beginning to a child or to a person. That is mother tongue. So there are also other beliefs. Some say that local language or vernacular language or regional language, these are also the mother languages. These are also the mother tongues. So there are correlations between mother tongue, mother languages, local languages or vernacular language, what we say. For instance, for example, I would like to say, I am hailing from a Santal family. Santal is my mother tongue. I was born in a Santal family. The language to which I was interacted after born, that was Santali. As my mother was by born as Santali. Her mother tongue is Santali. So for the first time, after my born, I was interacted with the language that is Santali. So Santali is my mother tongue, I say. But in the case of Oriya family, a son is born in a Oriya family. What is his mother tongue? In the case of a child who is born in a Oriya family, the language to which he is interacted, that is in Oriya. He is interacted by his mother in Oriya language. And second thing what happens, Oriya is also the regional language in the state of Orissa. Official language, Oriya language is a recognized language, constitutional recognized language, a local language, vernacular language, official language. Everywhere Oriya is being used. So Oriya becomes his mother language. On the other hand, the child who is born from Oriya family, his mother tongue is also Oriya. This has happened. But in the case of mine, my mother tongue is Santali. Because I was interacted at the very beginning in Santali language. I equated with Santali language. So in my case, my mother tongue is Santali. And thereafter, Oriya becomes my mother language. But in the case of other children like Oriya, we can say that Oriya is a state created on the basis of language. Orissa is the first state in the country which was created on the basis of language in 1936. Thereafter, so many states were created in the country. West Bengal comes out, and the state language in West Bengal is Bengali. So like that, in the case of Bengali family, when a newborn child comes, his mother tongue will become Bengali. And his mother language also becomes Bengali. So there are correlation among mother tongue, mother language and local language or regional language, what we may say. So language is a very significant tool used for communication, for interaction and for self-identification. So it is a very important tool. In every stage, in every moment of all human beings. So here simply we can say the significance of mother tongue. The topic on which discussion is going on. Simply we can say that mother tongue is the language which is first introduced, which is interrogated to a child. to a person or to a man. So we are talking about the significance of mother tongue. So mother tongue has so many significance. Significance of mother tongue lies in some points that the mother tongue is the base of learning other languages. Mother tongue is the base used for learning other languages. So mother tongue to which a child is taught, a child will become familiar with all other language through his mother tongue only, or through his mother language. So mother tongue plays very significant role in framing ideas, framing thinking, emotion, so many things. Mother tongue is also being used. Mother tongue is also the language which is used for interaction, for self-introduction. In mother tongue, we can see dream, we can feel emotion. So mother tongue gives so many things to us. It also ensures our efficiency in learning other languages, as I already said. Our characters, hidden treasures, shyness, or everything can be expressed very efficiently through mother tongue. Because the sound of mother tongue in the ear is suitable, it is easily accessible in its meaning. So mother tongue has a very significant role in framing our ideas, in framing our emotions, through which we can say, we can see dreams and other so many things. So mother tongue also links with the creature to which we belong, and it also shapes our identity. So mother tongue has so many things. It is in the case of learning, in the case of the world around us, through which we can know efficiently, clearly. So mother tongue stands, it gives us very significant result. In the case of education, mother tongue is used as a medium of instruction. It is also reiterated by UNESCO in its report in 2002. UNESCO has said that learning in mother tongue has very special value, very emotional value. It has very cognitive value. And prior to 2002, in 2008, FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization of United Nations Organization, it has also reiterated that teaching in mother tongue increases the intellect of students. So mother tongue basically plays so many roles for the development, for the personal development, or cognitive development of a person, of a child. Basically, in the case of primary education, what my former speaker said, new education policy is going to be implemented. After a long lapse of about 73 years after attainment of independence, new education policy, though it is introduced in 2020, and till yet it is not being implemented in the state of Orissa. As I know, as I am hailing from the state of Orissa. In other states, what is happening, it is beyond my knowledge. Though it is introduced in 2020, government have already declared about the introduction of mother tongue. But in the states of Orissa till yet it is not being implemented. In what and whether it is implemented or not, that is separate thing. So in the case of, the government have realized the importance of mother tongue for introduction of mother tongue in primary education. After a long lapse of about 73 years of the attainment of independence. So my former speaker was saying about the inclusion of language in 8th schedule. His mother tongue is to Bhojpuri. Bhojpuri is not being enlisted in 8th schedule of Indian language. My mother language, mother tongue Santali, is also very lately included in 2004 along with Bodo language. So this is also a matter of concern. That is why overall development of Santali language is lagging behind. Our chairperson, Sri Mohan Gihani, he is very fortunate that his language has a special development council for overall development of Sindhi language, National Council for Promotion of Sindhi language, already established by Government of India in 1994. At present, there are two such national councils. One is National Council for Promotion of Sindhi language, and another is National Council for Promotion of Urdu language, which was established in 1996. There are so many languages, only 22 languages are included, enlisted in 8th schedule of Indian Constitution. But so many significant languages are left behind. Most of these languages are all marginal languages, all ancient languages, all tribal languages of India. Only 2 tribal languages are included. There are near about 700 ancient languages, tribal languages of India, spoken by the speaker of various tribal communities. Out of 20 to 30 such significant tribal languages, which are till yet not been included or enlisted in the 8th schedule of Constitution. As said by my former speaker, there is also need to include another such languages in the 8th schedule of Indian Constitution, because it would facilitate these languages towards holistic development. Santali language, though enlisted in 8th schedule in 2004, thereafter Santali language is leading to the pinnacle of development. Though it has not achieved the pinnacle of development, but leading towards development. In comparison to that of other tribal languages, those who are yet not recognized, they are even under development. There is no scope of any government financial or government any patronage from the government of India or the state government. As I said, in the case of some states, in the case of some languages which are recognized by the state language, we can take the example of Orissa. Oriya is the official language of Orissa. Oriya is also the language enlisted in the 8th schedule of India. It is also recognized by the government of Orissa for official purposes. Oriya is being used. But that language is largely spoken, largely used in the state of Orissa and outside the state of Orissa by the speaker of Oriya language and others. This is happening. But in the case of Santali language, after a long lapse of about 30 or 40 years, Santali language has achieved constitutional recognition. Thereafter, we are trying our best towards the development of Santali language. Santali language is recognized by Sahitya Academy 2005. Thereafter, writers of Santali language are receiving awards from Sahitya Academy. Thereafter, we are attending such seminars, such programs, such seminars organized by Sahitya Academy. So we are achieving some development in the case of our mother language. So there are so many things. Once Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru, they are of the opinion that there are 4 languages need to be recognized. Though till yet there is no clear-cut language policy in India, what my former speaker said, that is 100% correct. Till yet, clear-cut language policy is not being introduced. So prior to the attainment of independence, Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru, they are of the opinion that 4 languages need to be recognized. First language, that is mother tongue. It is required to overcome the illiteracy, because of lack of education in mother tongue. There are so many illiteracy. There are so many people who are underdeveloped, who have as yet not achieved their minimum educational qualification. So that is the fact. The first language to recognize, that is mother tongue, and second language, that is leak language. Leak language means a language which can unify the speaker to others language. Leak language. And thirdly, a literary language. Through the usage of that language, literary knowledge could be developed. So third, a literary language should be recognized. And a fourth, international language, for international communication. And that is English. So this was the view, this was the opinion of Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru prior to the independence of the country. But as it is crystal clear that as new education policy is not implemented, we are till yet facing such difficulties. In the case of introduction of mother language, these are the significant drawbacks to various mother tongues, mother language, particularly to those tribal languages, who are now treated as marginal language. Though Santali and Bodo, only 2 tribal languages are included, but so many tribal languages are left beyond. That these languages are now considered treated as marginal language. And this is also another drawback to the development of those languages. So I think each government is serious and enough towards the development of this language. At present, so many tribal languages are leading to the verge of extinction. Anyhow, Santali language is enlisted in 8th schedule after a long linguistic movement of 20 years. Santali language is saved from extinction. We will have to admit it. Bodo language is saved from extinction. But so many tribal languages, which languages are very used by very few number of people. So the country needs clear-cut language policy. How unscheduled languages can be preserved, how tribal languages or marginalized languages of the country can be preserved, can be revitalized, can be disseminated. This is the big question at present. It has been process. So I think former speaker was also said that new education policy is going to be implemented and in the case of technical education, in medical education, on the basis of new education policy, regional languages will be used. This is a very good initiative, novel initiative taken by the government of India. That technical education, engineering education can be at present held in regional languages. Medical education, you can also help in regional languages. So these are the things, so many marginal languages are being left out by the government of India, and government of India or the concerned authority should be serious enough, should take appropriate measures towards development, holistic development of the marginal language, of the tribal languages, and other mother language, mother tongues. So with these few words, I conclude my words here. I once again extend my thanks to the chair, Dr. Sri Mohan Bihani, for speakers and respected audience and others. Thanking you all. Johar, Namaste, and good afternoon to you.
Thank you, Sorenji. Now I invite Sri Melvin Rodriguez to speak.
Respected Chair, distinguished guests on the dais, off the dais, and my dear friends, namaskar to you all. As the Chair has already said, I've been asked to give my views on the importance of mother tongue, unfortunately not in my mother tongue. There might be individuals here who can fluently converse in 1, 2, or perhaps even 4 languages beyond their native tongue. However, in Mangalore, my place of origin in India, such linguistic versatility transcends expectations. Here, it is customary for individuals to command proficiency in at least 5 languages. Hailing from Mangalore myself, I am well versed in the linguistic tapestry. Konkani, my mother tongue, Tulu, the local language, Kannada, the regional language, Hindi and English. Everyone in Mangalore knows all these languages. Some even know one more language of the place known as Bari, and speak Malayalam of the neighboring state too. With all these languages, I am different from all others because of my mother tongue. And because I am different, and I stand out among the big crowd. My mother tongue has given me the identity. If I had started writing in English instead of my mother tongue, I would have lost in the ocean of English. That is why I believe mother tongue helps to create the identity one needs. This linguistic richness not only distinguishes us in a crowd, but also bestows upon us a profound sense of identity rooted in our mother tongue. As the world undergoes rapid transformations, embracing new lifestyles and evolving modes of thought, the phenomena of cultural assimilation remains omnipresent. Yet, amidst these shifts, I steadfastly cling to my native language, Konkani, despite its relatively modest speakership of 25 lakhs. Allow me to illustrate how this attachment endures through an example. In our Konkani community, there exists a culinary treasure known as sanna. Resembling the ubiquitous idli, sanna is distinct in its texture and aroma, evoking a flood of memories and cultural imagery with its mere mention. Idli is usually flat. They add more urad dal to it. The batter is coarsely ground and not smooth paste. But sanna are soft like cotton and bigger in size than the idlis. When I take the name of sanna, its aroma engulfs my nostrils and 100 images of my community are displayed in front of my eyes. Legend has it that the name sanna derives from sadhana, and in bygone eras, the fermented sannas served as a revered offering to the upper echelons of society in temples, while the lower caste received ronta, a humble steamed rice flour. In my childhood, at least 2-3 times in a year, we used to make 300 to 350 sanna for various feasts. If the feast was on a Sunday, the ceremony of making sanna would start on Friday evening. The parboiled rice, raw rice, and the urudda were strained to remove the stone and other impurities and washed thoroughly. Then they were kept soaking overnight. Saturday morning, members of the family would take turns to grind this mixture on grinding stones. The batter was to be very smooth. By the time all the mixture was ground, it would be evening. The many words in my language, another word may be the famous penny, that have similar capacity. This capacity is different. This capacity, despite the inevitable forces of cultural assimilation, I remain steadfast in my devotion to my mother tongue. For me, this linguistic attachment serves as a beacon of identity amidst the ebb and flow of societal change. Another thing I want to express is how my mother tongue provides me with a sense of security in a foreign land. The joy, tranquility, and feeling of being among one's own people when two individuals sharing the same mother tongue.
Thanks a lot, Melvinji, for your wonderful presentation. Your idea to draw an analogy between regional cuisine and mother tongue was simply amazing. Thanks a lot for your presentation again. Now I invite Sri Sylvanus Namaji.
Good afternoon, respected Sir Mohan Gahini, then Ajit Dubey, Madan Mohan Soren, Melvin Rodriguez, and distinguished listeners this evening. Well, when Sahitya Akademi invited me for this important topic, that is the importance of mother tongue, I was actually reluctant before, because this is a very thorny issue in the country right now. Okay, and then, but because of the experience that I had in framing that is the new curriculum of 2005, then also being a member of the new education policy since 2014, so let me say something about it. And I'm very happy that our chairman started with something that is very, very pertinent. And I made the statement, it was in Baroda University at the invitation of Professor G.N. Devi, that learning of languages takes place in mother's womb. And then it was just a statement, then I decided to research on it. But you know, this is a very thorny issue. Who will volunteer? The women have to volunteer, no? When they conceive a child, they have to volunteer. So eventually I got 10 volunteers in Shillong. Then in 2008, more or less prove it that yes, it takes place, because we have to record all the emotions, everything that takes place while the consumption takes place. And really, to our amazement, we found that most of the things that the mother experienced, the child also reflected back later on. So that is in conclusion, I could say it was proven that yes, learning of language and emotions and everything takes place in the mother's womb. So this is the first experience that I have. Opposed to any foreign language, man can freely express his thought in his mother tongue. Tagore has emphasized mother tongue as a medium of instruction for the child's education. He was in favor of comprehensive curriculum which should satisfy the child's aesthetic, creative, spiritual and vocational need. According to me, this statement of Tagore is the foundation of the NEP 2020. Today, finally, what happened? When you are sending your children to school, you immediately ask what you want to be in the future. No? You are already asked what vocation you will take place. So the child is already having an idea in his head that when I grow up, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a teacher, I want to be this, I want to be that. Interestingly, I asked my grandson, what do you want to be? He said, I want to be a plumber. So then I said, why plumber? He said, because I can handle tools. So this is the idea that modern children they already have beforehand. So therefore, I believe that the statement made by the court that the curriculum should satisfy child's aesthetic, creative, spiritual education needs as the foundation of the NEP 2020. Now, what is happening today? Are we doing that? Mother tongue help us to better understand our own culture identity. Let me tell you that the Khasis, we are fighting to be great in the initiative, okay? But we have not got. We don't have the script of our own. We got the Roman script. It was introduced by the Christian missionaries in 1841. Now, how do we preserve our knowledge, our culture? So behind every flower, behind every waterfall, behind every animal, there is a story. So for me, language is not merely visual script, but everything that is within the culture. So that is very important to understand, because if you lose a culture identity, then we lose our language, we lose our thought process. Therefore, that is a very important thing to promote. By promoting the mother language as a medium of instruction, you will have to preserve our country's cultural heritage. That's what I believe for me. If we want to preserve our cultural heritage, we need to educate in our own mother tongue. So making it possible, the importance of mother tongue in education has been discovered. I think it's not discovered, it was discovered earlier, but it has been strengthened. Now, the national teach mother tongue, do you want to teach language of the regional language? Do you want to teach other languages? We are not sure. That's why we are nowhere. I think all of you here, you must understand, whenever I travel by any taxi, I always have a conversation, strike a conversation with the driver. Ask how are you, where are you from, or where is children study. And most of the time I find that the taxi driver prefer that the children be sent to the English medium school. Then I said, why English medium? He said, because there it is guaranteed that if they go to English medium school, their job is guaranteed. This is the belief. Therefore,